We're back, guys. Back in time to watch one ball get banned out and one ball get picked in this series of two between Ninjas in Pyjamas and Hippomaniacs. And NiP, they already take game one, and they are looking pretty good for game two, Alan, when you open up with a Wisp.
Yeah, they open up with a Wisp, and Hippo right away uses about 30 seconds of their reserve time going, oh boy, we got to deal with this here. I like the axe, but I always, when you talk about a Wisp, I think you want somebody mobile to get in the back lines, threaten that hero. Love the Weaver pick, although that Weaver has really fallen out of favor in this recent patch.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen it once in the new patch at all. There's not one that people actually go to. I think it's partly due to the fact that you can't as easily trade in lane just because of all these styles that get built.
Right. Well, and I just think that with all the other changes, that so many of the other agi cores come online that much sooner, they get active that much sooner, they can farm the jungle that much more efficiently, so that in a relative sense, the Weaver lost a lot of value. It's not always about just the absolute changes in a patch or the reworks. A lot of times it's about just the relative, can other heroes do what you do as well or better?
That's the thing. As the other heroes, the other agi heroes tend to get better strength gains. That's kind of always been the catch with Weaver. And this has always been the catch with Io. Picking up a gyrocopter, that's grim tidings for Hippomaniacs already.
Well, you know, right? When you see the Io come up first pick overall, you know that the fourth pick is going to be the gyro. Like, there's no mystery to it. And so what you're doing is you're saying, okay, I'm either going to get something that can go and threaten the Wisp directly, or I'm going to have something that can apply a bunch of damage to the two of them. Like the Poison Touch now is decent against this combo. And of course, the Axe functions as the BKB breaker, so that when Gyro gets his BKB online in the mid game, as long as Axe has some items, he's going to be fine. Like, you know, you saw in that last game, the Axe's blade mail and BKB timings were really, really good. And so the PA just didn't have that same kind of power spike, except in one fight where the Axe got picked off.
It was very true. They did get the best of the scenario. Of course, they picked up the Axe, and the hero usually counter the Dazzle, which means they have got the saves against this Gyro Io combo.
Well, and you've already shown in the last game as Hippo that you're willing to run unconventional mid in a Skywrath. I would imagine if you're willing to run Skywrath mid, you're probably going to be willing to run Dazzle mid as well. So you have quite a bit of flex value now, whereas NiP has given away a lot of information in their first two picks. And that's something that you really have to leverage as the draft goes on. Against a good drafter like Peter, any bit of commitment, early commitment or information that you get, that's something you have to exploit.
All right, and speaking a little bit of information, we did get you slightly cut off right at the beginning. Do you want to restart the call? Play it safe.
Sure. No problem.
Go. We'll get Alan back. All right, there we go.
Let's try that.
That should be better. It's because we forgot to restart between the series. It was going so well.
We always forget to do that. That's all right. As long as we're doing it in the draft, as long as I'm cutting out in the middle of team fights or something.
Yeah, we're too busy continuing to analyze the game after it's finished. You know, we let you guys hear that, but we have to give you beautiful break screens and, you know, hop in the lobbies so you can see beautiful games like this that have an Io gyro in the first phase. It's not pure filth, I swear. Was that convincing? I think that was convincing.
It was pretty good. As you know, as filler BS goes, that was pretty good. But Hippo, it's really the story of the reserve time here is a big one throughout this draft. I mean, they were not necessarily ready for this Io gyro combo. They're spending a lot of reserve time very early on thinking about how do we want to structure our hero picks against the first two of NiP. You start to worry what NiP is going to come out with here as the draft goes onward. I like the tree.
I don't like it in this game. Against the Io, your trees are going to just disappear.
Exactly. That's kind of now. I mean, you can still get cute with Nature's Guys. I mean, that still is a hero that can get around behind the Wisp in a slightly unconventional way.
It's true, but I think ever since the change to Nature's Guys, this hero is now, and the movement speed as well, this hero is now more reliant on Nature's Guys in the laner phase than he was before.
Right.
That's the big crux. I don't know. Maybe if you carry a bunch of Iron Branches, you'll be fine. Just make your own little paths.
Well, and another big thing though is that if I'm remembering correctly, Overgrowth no longer goes through BKB.
I'm Trying to remember if it was.
That's a problem.
I can't remember if it was. I know they changed a few things with it. Like, for example, you can't. Yeah, I think Overgrowth was, but you can still use the Nature's Guise route. That was the thing. Like, they changed the. They really did mix it up in a weird way that you can, for example, still interrupt TPs with Nature's Guise as an example.
So yeah,
but
Nature's Guise. Well, Nature's Guise no longer pierces spell immunity.
Okay, so it was a full.
Still does. Okay, all right.
That was it.
That's
yeah, that's the way.
That was what I remember.
So,
sorry about that, guys. I should know my passions a little bit better by now. But
it's fine because I know there's overlap. So it's like, for example, Overgrowth goes for BKB, but Nature's Guise doesn't. But then if you look at the other way around, Nature's Guise can stop TPs, but I think Overgrowth doesn't.
Yes, that is correct. Right, you no longer interrupt channels. Is that it?
I'm checking.
They messed up. They messed with the root state.
Yeah, the root states have been changed because, of course, they introduced the leash. So, for example, you can't TP out in leash. You can TP out in root still. You'll see it coming in action, guys. There was a little bit of overlap. Like, basically, one thing does something, the other one doesn't now.
Basically, the way to understand, this I do remember. Okay, the way to understand the change is that basically TP is now a special kind of channel. TP is no longer treated as a generic channel. Okay, that roots like Overgrowth and Nature's Guise now interrupt TP, but they will not interrupt other kinds of channeling.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
And in fact, it's not just canceled. It's fully prevented during the duration.
Yeah, no, that sounds about right. There was definitely a lot of confusion for a lot of people, especially when they introduced the leashes into the game.
But we should also talk about this OD hero, which I think is just god awful in this patch. This is a hero that wins its lane and then just does nothing. Like I think the new reworked Arcane Orb is way too expensive mana wise. 200 mana at level 4, and your damage is now tied to your mana pool. So every orb you fire out, I mean, you're an OD with 1800 mana. You do a lot of damage, but every time you throw out an orb, you're doing a little less. And that's 9 orbs. That's just not enough.
We have seen this combo before, though, right? Like, we saw it. Actually, no, I saw it. It was the CIS were running this. It was Windstrike. They took the IO gyro and then added in the OD because IO and OD worked decently together. I think that was their logic.
That's true. I still and I think there's a Morphling on the other side. OD plays pretty well against that. Your IO gyro give you enough objective threat and are able to play on the other side of the map. Not just the IO gyro, but again the IO in combination with the OD. You're able to play on the enemy side of the map, so it offsets some of the sustain problems that the OD had.
You know what we're really missing here, Alan? It's the removal of someone to a fight. You know how Astral's great for that? While you enfeeble them, you Astral them, and then they're just sitting in there for the entire fight. Combination.
That's true. Status resistance, baby.
And the Earth Shaker coming out as the farm. We're going to get a core shaker here. What I'd like to see.
It's a core shaker, but it's a 33 shaker, so it's not going to be, it's not any of these crazy mid or shakers, right?
Yeah, but it's
that different, I don't think.
Come on,
yeah,
get all flame.
No, it's shaker bane in a lane. That's nasty.
Very scary. Easy to get across for the enchant setup. So once you get to level 3, look at this off lane for NiP because it has a lot of kill potential.
Yeah, and when you talk about like shaker ordinarily as a hero. Like he's one of those heroes that absolutely needs to get level 12 because of the way his skill points work. For his combo to be a reliable lockdown, he needs to get into those early teens levels. Enfeeble, no worries, man. I mean, Earthshaker has tremendous lockdown from very, very early levels if you're talking about against one target or even 2.
Absolutely, and it looks like we've got the final pick. It's going to actually be a Pugna come out from Hippomaniacs. They say anything you can do, we can use against you. The difference is this time around, of course, NiP aren't the ones who've drafted something like a Skywrath.
Yeah, It's certainly I still think the Pugna pick is okay. You definitely don't have the direct hero versus hero combo with the Pugna that you did with the Skywrath. Nothing remotely like that. It still gives you a lot of objective threat. It should be said this is probably going to be a mid morphling and safe lane Pugna.
I'm thinking so by the looks of it, because it was Supreme who was going mid last time. I feel like that might match up a little bit better against the OD because you can actually aggress him pretty decently. I don't know. There's a lot of CS denial, right? Back and forth between Pugna and OD. So that might be better to starve each other out, if that makes sense. Like,
I want to see how Hippo choose to structure these lanes. Because I think what I like here is sending the Pugna top and trying to put a lot of early pressure on that safe lane tower on the Dire side. If the Radiant can do that, they can put themselves in an excellent map control situation, both controlling the Dire jungle and the Roche pit.
Can handle the gyro better as well as when you compare like the movement speeds between these two.
Yeah, exactly.
I can see it. Like, it's actually your best shot at not getting caught out by the gyrocopter. And the Axe likely to go up against the Bane Shaker, which he's got raw HP to work with, but that is going to hurt regardless.
Yeah, it's going to suck, but I think if the Axe ends up like bottoming against the Bane Shaker with intermittent support, he's not going to love his life, but he's not going to get totally pooped on. And if they can turn that into an advantageous top lane where the Pugna is able to take the tower, that's wonderful. Now, that said, it looks like they're just sending the Pugna mid. Okay,
yeah,
great.
They're going to go for a mid by the looks of it. Screw everything we said. So it's going to be this kind of CS denial back and forth, right, with the Astral.
I think you got to get creative. Yeah, it's fine. I mean, I guess I haven't seen that lane in a while.
It's actually, I think as it goes on, it's not too bad as well, because the Decrepify means you can't attack with the Arcane Orbs.
Right.
So it could work out fairly well. I mean, the difference with Morphling now is because of the way they changed the attribute shift, you don't have to use mana for it anymore. So you wouldn't have been as bothered, but it's just you do move fairly slow, right? So you would still be pressured pretty hard by an OD.
So this is interesting. It looks like they're gonna have an Axe tree top.
I mean, it's definitely a way to put a lot of damage.
This is not the lanes I thought we were seeing.
Oh, we're going to see the Dazzle plus the Morphling. I think you can actually run down better with this combo because of the, you put out the Poison Touch, then you can waveform through, Morphling attacks fast. And then it should be, look, they already spot this out. They're moving the Gyro IO down here to face up against Morphling.
Okay, all right. That makes a little more sense.
Muff, can he take the rune? Gonna go for it. Actually, no. He didn't have to stop. If he didn't stop for that hit, he gets the rune, I think. That's slight mishap. He just punches 33 in the face, but with the stout and how beefy he is, it won't matter. They brought him bot. All right, this is one way to make it work, right? You show top, they'll assume you're there hiding in the trees. Then you go for a first blood in the bot lane.
Yeah, it's still... So Gyro saved his skill point. It's still not necessarily an easy first blood. I mean, Nature's Guise is your only disable.
And he just threw it out pretty early, actually. They didn't even wait for Dazzle to get in location.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. I mean, it's a nice, relatively efficient harass. You get the Morphling a couple of waves, but and your Axe is pretty confident. I mean, he's going to be able to play behind the tier 1, but again, as this Bane gets levels with Enfeeble...
It's not just that as well. It's because you put the point in the spin. Like, it actually doesn't do that much damage at level 1. You can already see PPD effectively trading here.
I mean, this is a Bane. It's just this hero early on. He's got a Salve and a Mango. Like, he is not worried at all.
Saber says, when things go bad, you double down. He takes a second creep wave, and he'll be on his way. PPD gets body blocked by every one of them.
Yeah, but wow, he better get out of range of this Bane to be able to salve up.
Yeah, he should be fine. PPD is a little bit too slow. I actually thought 33 might try and double across and get a fissure out. Oh, there's the Nightmare now. Oh no, he lost the creeps.
And the creeps just go right back. Saber's like, come back, no.
No, this is new strategy. He's gonna end up with a triple stack. He'll get there. But for the time being, he has to burn the South. He's still not level 2. PPD can continue to harass him. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, there is going to be this constant back and forth CS denial.
You know, and the price that early harass from the Trina and Dazzle did do something, right? Gyro just got his first last hit down bottom.
Oh, and they're going to harass again. They see Saxa. Can they get the root?
They might get Saxa.
They get him first blood, and they do give it to Supreme as well.
Very nice. I mean, that is how you draw it up for sure.
Like,
and the wave, despite losing that pull, like the wave is close enough to the tower that Saberlight, not only is he going to get level 3 off this, he almost got both range creeps.
Yeah, he's been doing pretty well.
The TP, though.
All right, they're switching up. Try action time, they say. They did just bring out a sentry as well, so they'll be able to see the Trin coming. I would like to see the Trin just buy 1 or 2 Iron Branches so that he can actually go aggressive. Like, he can just cut out, and this whole area is his at that point. PPD's been seen, though. Throw it up. Going to be slowed down. They got the Leech Seed as well, as Muff is level 2. And PPD, he's going to die here. There's no escape from this. He'll put the Nightmare out in the Morphling to make sure Dazzle takes the kill instead.
Yeah. And it's important. It doesn't seem like immediate cause and effect, but because Saberlight was far enough forward to spot the tail end of that Bane's TP, so they're ready for that. They knew exactly what was happening in the bottom lane, and it just, you're not scared at all about that aggression, despite, and also the fact that Saxa at the time that they started going on that Bane was still level 1. He just hit level 2, and
it was totally worth chasing him out of the lane, missed a few CS to get that kill, because as you can now see, PPD has been initiated into the Hall of Shame as he begins the Walk of Shame.
Absolutely. He's going to be here in time to prevent the aggression with Ace.
Supreme take a lot of damage, but the kind of benefit they have in this try and try scenario is the Shadow Wave to heal up. No benefits in the top lane, though, as a solo kill for 33 under this axe.
Oh, man. And that's... I was about to make that point before you saw PPD get into a fight there bottom.
Senny getting low here. The roots in time is going to heal up. He actually needs to move in range for the Leech Seed. They're going to wait for him through.
Oh, Ace.
Can they get him? Oh, the Poison Touch connects. He's gone. He is a dead man now, and Senny doesn't even die to PPD.
Oh, and they can't... They were trying to give the last hit to the Morphling.
He never gets him. And actually, PPD Chase now has the Brain Sap, so he'll just scare the crap out of Supreme, who starts morphing. Dazzle, he's actually going to try and deny himself here. They aren't paying attention for it, and he's so low on HP, it'll be an easy deny. So see you later, folks. Charge towards
Look at this Earthshaker play, by the way. He's like, all right, Axe, you want to cut my creep wave? I mean, 33 is like totally fine.
I can play this game too, he says.
Well, and that solo kill is such a big deal, right? Because Axe can theoretically really choke off this Earthshaker, keep him under his own tower. But, you know, because now they got that solo kill, he's about to hit level 6.
Yep, they are pretty even in terms of XP right now. The CS lead is slightly in favor of Saberlight, but of course the XP is even because of that kill that occurred. Bot lane, they're looking for some aggression again, but they always have to be careful of approaching because it's flat cannon. Luckily for them, it's a decent sized cooldown. The mid lane, we're going to check in on how that's coming again. You're going to actually already see Fada taking a slight lead over the Pugna. And this is kind of the awkward part about this lane, is that you can throw out the Decrepify, but immediately afterwards, he can just use the Astral. So you never really escape him, and then if you're stuck just having a right-click battle, with the Equilibrium available, that's a win for the OD. As you can see again. Nice spell.
Exactly. It just trumps, right? And Fada played that way very, very well. Until that, if Curry had gotten all the last hits on the wave, it would have been a dead even lane. But
doesn't roll that way.
Really nice. And Saberlight's low up here. He needs to be careful.
Yep. No, they've already used the Echo Slam though. Now the rotation in for Fada. The call has been used, but there's the fissure to make sure the kill does occur.
Man.
And actually, while that's happening, in the bot lane, I will fall here. Supreme does get the Nightmare off him. Needs to back up a little bit here. They do get the kill. They can't pursue for more, though. Bane is not an easy target. All right, so a little bit of aggression back and forth. Although, keep in mind, that was the Echo Slam in the top lane.
It is, but it's important. We've talked about all the action up here, okay? But they're not securing... Hippo is not securing a farm differential out of this. The Gyro is still farming, even though it seems like their aggression has been fairly effective.
It's at least keeping their levels down. As you can see already, though, Supreme is going to be the first one to hit 4 in this lane. But
I mean, but if you go into a defensive trialing situation like this, you really, I mean, they were defensive trialing from wave 1. And your goal has to be to secure a farm differential. It's generally not enough to get a couple of kills.
Moving in, they're actually going to D-ward here, trying to go on the aggressive. Waveform pulled by Supreme. That's
Supreme,
very
that's
bold. He's going to be ran down here. And now Muff, he needs to run for the high hills because they can chase onto this. It's going to be a homing missile on his ass. So they can actually get across in time. The Rocket Barrage will run down and kill off the Dazzle. And he's still running because they maintain the damage. You cannot go invisible with Nature's guys.
Yeah, and that's something that you see so often. Hippo you put a lot of pressure on yourself. You know that you're forcing some action, you're getting some kills maybe with this defensive tri-lane, but you know that gyro is still farming, and as a result, you feel a lot of pressure on you to make plays, resulting in just getting yourself out of position.
Now, you see a net worth lead start to arise for the side of NiP. 8 minutes in, a 2K lead already, and that Shaker is top in the net worth. He's on his way towards the Blink next, and at this rate, he should beat Axe towards it. Because I think Axe is going to stop off these treads as well.
Yeah, that...
Oh my god, look at this farm.
That's so unfortunate.
Just a little bit NiP farm over here.
Sure.
This is one of the benefits of having the gyro on the dire side, of course. So you have access to that beautiful holy triangle of farm.
Oh yeah, you can farm that. You can farm that with call down.
Yeah. It also, you can get some assistance to clear it fast from Fada, as you saw.
Down here with the invis rune, though.
Fada's going to wrap around. And they're going on Saxa. Waveform through. They're going to find him. They break his little achy, breaky heart. Ace needs to walk away now. Poison Touch is going to be there. Supreme. Oh no, this is a glitch. Fada didn't have enough. The Shallow Grave comes out. And now they will look for whatever they can get remaining. Astral is used to make sure the Treant can't get involved. They want the kill in the Dazzle. Going to chase him down, but he does have the stick, and he has got the raindrop to work with. And Muff wants to turn around this. And they will be able to. Pugnus coming down.
Yeah.
Wait, no, Muff goes the wrong way.
NiP knows.
Yeah, they won't find anything here. I think if Muff actually cut right across, they would have been able to find Gyro there. That's a shame. Missed opportunity.
Yeah, it's kind of the reverse of what happened in the very beginning of the fight to NiP, is that the action got pulled a little bit too far over to the right side. So Fata... He had rotated down with the invis rune, and he'd sort of followed Jazzle down through the jungle, but gotten a little bit too far left, so he wasn't in good response. Very close to killing the Morphling, but not nearly enough. The Grave was even at low level was going to come out there with no problem. And
that's the thing. The Science Eclipse not getting a kill there is pretty crippling. You really need to actually find a pick off that first one when you're playing this OD. It is this momentum-based hero.
Peter, that's a level 9 axe, dude.
Meanwhile, it's a level 9 Shaker in the bot lane, securing the runes as they try and aggress onto him. And it looks like NiP will get 3 of the 4 runes here. Wait, no. One on bold. They're cheating. They still get 3, though.
Yeah, and the Arcane goes onto the Pugna in the bottle. That's very nice for them.
That means you can push on the tier 1 mid because someone is not in their lane. Fada's gone top here, actually, because Shaker did rotate. And he hasn't got Echo Slam for 50 seconds, so you might see Curry just pushing on this. He has to know the Echo Slam's on cooldown.
Oh, nice. The Axe has the Blink Dagger. He's going to TP bottom and try and catch him out on the reveal, get a kill onto the Gyro. If he can do this, that's huge value for them.
There it is. The call through slows him down enough. No, just run him down. They actually go on to Saxo as well. They're not done. They know he can't move fast. He's got no tether target. The only way he can actually go is back. Oh, the Cullen Blade.
All right.
In this series, everyone's entitled to a few axe mistakes with the calculations.
Well, did he miss, though? Because as a result, it's Morphling that gets the kill.
It is indeed. And Curry in the mid lane will go down. So they find a pick-off in response. They do get the bigger ones. They'll be happy with that pick-off.
Yeah, that's true. It's value there because that also relieves the pressure on the tower. Setting up for a little action here.
Yeah, they're going to find him. They do get him low, but no spins coming out in their favor. They will at least get the kill on Dazzle. They're going to try and chase for a Saberlight, but 33, he still does not have that Blink Dagger. Teasing him with the Courier. Can't have this.
That's the cost of stopping off for the treads, as you were pointing out.
It did allow him to win the lane, but now can you win the game? Because you have to flood beyond where you start. And meanwhile, the ball.
Curry could be in trouble down here. His Pugna is so fast, though.
They might actually chase. They've got the Science Eclipse.
They'll settle for the Morphling kill.
Oh, can they get him though? He's going to waveform away. They see the Dazzle. Fada wants to go. He's got the Equilibrium activated. Doing a decent amount of damage, and there's the Astral to ensure the finishing touch on that kill. Nope. He's alive.
Not quite.
Oh, the shallow grave. He actually lasted just long enough. That is unfortunate for Fada. Of course, the difference is 1 second there. But they do actually repel that aggression. So Hippomaniacs, things could be looking worse because their towers are going untouched right now. Because that is one of the weaknesses of NiP's lineup. They don't really have the best tower pushers. They do now, at least, with 33 maxing out the enchant term.
Well, the other scary thing is that if that Earthshaker is nearby, that Morphling just dies, right? Because he got nightmared up, had the Enfeeble on him.
It is a sad life, that's for sure. And that Shaker, look at his gold. The blink is almost ready. We've seen the impact that the Axe blink has had for Hippomaniacs. In a moment, we will end up seeing the impact that a Shaker blink will have.
Right. I mean, the kill on the Gyro was really nice with the Axe blink reveal, but Gyro is also like by far the most underlevel core on the NiP side, and that's by design, right? So getting the kill on the Gyro just doesn't have nearly as much impact. And the Earthshaker blink, by comparison, the Earthshaker blink reveal is probably easily going to get a kill on the Morphling. And Hippo has a lot more invested in that morph if they eventually want to come into this game than NiP has in the Gyro.
Well, that's the thing. I think you're right. When it comes down to that low level, being part of the design is what it means is even if you get those pickoffs, there's a very small amount of time off the map where you're not farming. Mid lane, yeah. Shaker being aggressive. They just want to try and get the tower. There we go. He also hits a little bit hard. As they get the deny on the tier 1 mid, they do have to surrender it, but they knew that was going to be an inevitable factor when you're playing against the Pugner. PPD hanging around in an interesting fashion here.
He is, but he's also equal in level with the Morphling.
Yeah, but he might be in trouble now. This nightmare lasts a while. I'll find him. They rotate 4 for this kill, so PPD will make some kind of statement about being worth, as there's a lot of heroes here. He still dies though.
I mean, 4 hero rotation for the support. I mean, sure, he's level 8, but that's fine. Can you turn this into a push, though? I'm not sure.
It's unlikely. Look at Shaker's position. If you do this, you're in trouble. Right. He has the blink.
He's got the blink reveal, and he's smoked up in the trees back here.
Yeah, he knows Muff is around here as well. Look at the way he moves. Reads it perfectly. Pre-charges the enchant term as well. They just need Morphling to come back. And next to Dazzle, they'll go for it.
Oh, that's smart. If they don't realize the Earthshaker's here.
Missed opportunity. They have to back away here. They might come back in a second, though. They're reluctant because they're wondering if the Trine is around and has spotted them. Because you look, and Hippo are interestingly splintered. They refuse to stack.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. They understand that if that Earthshaker gets in on you, that's a team wipe.
It's a nice read as well.
Another word, though, and that Hippo is going to back off.
Oh, they've done a good job of tracking the goal that Shaker had. Because, of course, they didn't see him with that blink, but they knew it had to be a possibility. I believe he actually, unless he smoked in this area, that's the only thing I can think of. Like, they do have that high ground ward. No, it wouldn't have been on time. But Shaker walks out here. Whoopsie daisy. He's going to try and move forward with stuns. Can he get across? So they're kiting him perfectly. The overgrowth to ensure that he will not be a threat to anyone.
Yeah, but again, that's 4 heroes for 1 kill, and meanwhile the Gyro is just merrily up here getting back into the game.
It's true, but at the same time, you just obliterate the chances of this huge havoc caused by an Echo Slam, which is really important at this stage because actually, if NiP takes one big fight, they plow out of control. They've already got a 4K net worth lead. They will at least get the tower on the side of Hippomaniacs. So they've.
And the last hit goes the Pugner.
I think the other thing to highlight here is actually you've just seen the first tower claim pop by NiP, and they are in a tower deficit, yet they have this gold lead, and that can easily escalate if you start to take bad fights inside Hippomaniacs. Exactly,
and you can see why, right? I mean, they're being very efficient about their jungling up here. Ace still only level 8, but he is now 2nd in net worth in the game, 1K behind his OD.
Who has a 5 level advantage on him. Echo Slam comes in, they're making the move here. Saberlight down to half HP. The cooldown did slow him down somewhat. They actually need to get 33 back in this. He hasn't got the blink for 7 seconds. They'll at least find a kill on Axe. They keep pursuing. No Fissure, though. So they can't follow up. They'll at least find a kill behind on Muff, though. They'll take that.
It felt like that wasn't as bad as it could have been, right, if you're Hippo. But at the same time, this is where the comparison between the Axe and the Earthshaker, you know, the Earthshaker has the treads, feels incredibly tanky. The axe, by comparison, sitting on just brown boots with only a chainmail in toward his blade mail. You know, he feels so much less tanky at this stage of the game.
It is definitely shown in these fights, and of course, I wouldn't even say that was the golden echo slam they were looking for. That was just I want at least one pick off here. Absolutely,
that was a let's take the kills that they're giving us. Let's secure that. You know, Earthshaker is sitting on 2k HP at 17 minutes into the game.
He is relatively tanky, I'll give you that. You know, if we compare everyone on the other side, you've got 1500 HP on the axe, Treant on 1200, and well, we don't count the Morphling because that's cheating, but you know, he could probably get around 2000 if he fully strength.
Right, and that's very relevant because there is an armor disparity, right? But you got plenty of magic damage.
See what they can do with that magic damage. Look at this. Hippomaniacs stacking up. They want to push in on this tier 2. Muff does get the ward down, so they see Fada perfectly. They're going to move him right now. The call's going to come out. He's stuck on the spot. Life drain's there. He will just go bye-bye. The Fissure will cut off Muff. The Overgrowth comes out, catches on the floor. It's very good. The Shallow Grave. I'll Saberlight to move away. The Homing Missile will connect. The flat cannon coming through. Muff's going to get low on HP. The Bees grip. No, they interrupt with the Homing Missile. Supreme's going to turn around, take out PBD, and move forward on Ace as well. Gets him low, but the IO keeps him alive. We'll turn around and say, that's a tower push. Let's commit, folks.
Yeah, brilliantly played by Hippo. That's exactly the target that you want to isolate in the OD. So much of the damage output of NiP gets neutralized when you do that. And then the Supreme Morphling getting flat cannon online. And you get the Fiend Grip cancel.
I'm watching Supreme just be very careful about his strength level because there is an Echo Slam available for the Shaker. But nice zone out from Saberlight ensures they get the tower. Now it's a question of whether they feel they could go towards Roche. I'm not sure they're at a stage where they want to, but they are going to ping it.
No, it's not. I don't think you do Roche fast enough, and it's Echo Slam in the pit, man. That's just asking to be team wiped.
It's definitely too risky. There was a ping come out. I think it was one of the NiP members, so like check it just in case. There's a chance. But
yeah, I mean, as Hippo, you know where you're at in this game. You are still down, and you know that, and so that tower, that engagement in tower is much more valuable. Oh, but you can't get picked off here as the Morphling. All right,
he's absolutely fine. He's just a gyro. Calm down.
I thought that was the Earthshaker rotating in.
No, he's busy pushing in bot because they realize they need
OD. Oh, if he gets caught on Agi,
no.
If he gets caught on Agi,
he is. There it is. The Science Eclipse out. He's gone. Muff was in the tree line. They was trying to make an aggressive move onto the Jar and the IO.
Yeah. Well, that's a Morphling running around on 40% HP on full Agi, and he's like, "Thank you very much."
Fada with these invis runes time and time again. This time the Science Eclipse will pay out. Muff, he's not able to interrupt the CP as he can't get invis in time. Green just left holding his junk in his hand, unable to find anything right now. I don't feel like we've really seen... Like, you consider that Overgrowth was the big impact we saw from the Treant. But that's the only thing we've seen since, like, early laning from him so far.
Right. And that's the other thing, that the other kind of stealth way in which the Treant Protector loses a lot of value here is, remember that the towers are just so much less tanky in this patch. Whereas in the past, with that the nearby enemy hero armor bonus, right? Towers were so tanky against these deathball pushes. You saw Treant more often able to sustain these towers against chip damage. Here, the pushes come, and the Treant isn't going to heal up your tower. You know, you do have a smoke play going on here through the dire jungle.
Oh, I was going to walk into it as well. Call's going to be there. They turn around. They take out the Iron first. The Gyro's all alone. The Life Drain's going to be there. The Overgrowth will ensure the additional kill on top on the main. PPD. He knows how this one ends. The Column Blade was fluffed again, but that just ensures that Supreme gets the kill instead.
Wow, and a smoke play that looked like it might entirely whiff ends up succeeding when the IO and Gyro just fortunately walk right up the steps into their own primary jungle, likely going to result on a Roshan in the side of Hippo, and they get this Rosh, I think they're right back in this.
Most definitely are, and, well, NiP will know this is going on. They even have a ward that spotted it, but they know there's nothing they can do about it, because the heroes are not up. In fact, they didn't even try and get Shaker here to try and see if they get relocate play. They know the Rosh is going to be done. Axe is here, though.
I mean, Axe just kind of... Yeah, that was an optimistic TP in there, hoping for maybe a call deny.
I mean, if you do get the call deny, you die for it. I'm almost certain you die in that scenario.
Yeah, especially given you're TPing in at 50% HP after tanking Roche.
Definitely would have been a very brave move. If anything for those denies, just make sure less gold in NiP's pockets, because while you do have that Aegis, they still have a 3k net worth lead, and the smoke comes out. NiP, they're not going to sit on their hands and wait for this Roche to run out.
Yeah, and they also recognize correctly that if they catch this Morphling in the smoke, it's very possible they kill him
There's
twice.
the Echo Slam. They're going to stun him up. They can actually get him twice now.
All right, so that's the cheapie.
They don't want to
This is the one that matters.
There we go. Oh, the Sandy's Clip almost gets him. The Shallow Grave, he's stuck in the pit. They don't realize it just yet. The DD on Ace. Does he want to engage? They're trying to back off it. By times, the Morph has been used.
Wow, that came a lot closer to one-shotting the Morphling than I thought.
Well, they actually felt like they didn't have the damage initially. You saw him actually, instead of using the Enchant Term Strike on the Shaker, he charged a new strike, which meant he didn't have it when you came up from the Aegis. I think he actually had enough damage though.
Yeah, I wondered that myself actually. That if they get the totem hit in addition to the primary disable.
Now the turnaround opportunity going on Fada. The BKB activated to move away. But there's the overgrowth onto him after the BKB. So relocate's going to come in. There's Use the Fiend's Grip on the tree. He's going to fall first. Kari, life draining up on the Gyrocop. He zaps him down. He's gone. On the side, Muff still alive because of the Shallow Grave. Is he going to live? Maybe. Supreme moves in now with the waveform. They're already got with the Gyro. There's going to be a relocate out by the IO. Now the Nightmare there. Can they kite out Supreme? 33 trying to move away. He has got the Blink Dagger. Should be able to make his escape. And actually, look at this. They're going to come back. They want to retract and go back in once more. They're going to try. The call's going to be there. Only connect on OD. He's doing a lot of damage to himself, though, but the overcharge is going to keep him alive. And Saberlight running out of him fast and give him more damage over to Fada. We'll get the kill. And they're chasing on the Morphling still. 33. Hasn't got the Fidget, but has got the Enchant Tone. Will be pushed back by the Adaptive Strike.
Oh, he's out of mana.
He is. They're going to keep going.
Mana. If they realize that they can chase him all the way to his base.
They will. They can actually get the Fissure set up pretty nicely here. There it is. Cuts him off. Supreme. No mana, no escape. He's going to be going down. And actually, bonus kill, they say. Treant's not anywhere near trees. 33 trying to move in. Right. Chant Terms there. That's another one. The snowball effect of OD compels. He's going to move in. Curry going to turn around. Dagon. He gets the kill on the IO.
All right.
They punish the greed.
I'll take it. A little bit of rebuttal.
Look at this. 88 arcade. This kill guy, he's broken the 100 mark on the stolen in.
Wow. Yeah, and that's going to last for a decent time, too. Muff, come on, buddy. Discretion's the better part of valor. Don't do this to me.
Oh, they still want to fight. He's like, they use the Silence Eclipse. What else can they do? Well, it's soft cooldown 20.
You go all the way back to that nice fight. Just as I get done saying nice grave, like it's such a good like timing move by the Dazzle there to save your Treant. But what does saving a Treant do? And as a result, you don't have the grave for your Pugna, which really needed it.
That was the case, and as a result, they lost a lot more heroes. They got chased across the map. And I actually half expected NiP to hang around, because with Silence Eclipse coming off cooldown, if Hippomaniacs try and fight you and they do not get Fada from 100 to 0 instantly, you're probably all going to die. But sadly, the Arcane Orbs will tick down. We don't get to see the hilarious Rampage.
Yeah, well, Hippo are pretty happy about that. Because there's no way you're fighting an OD with 108 stacks at that point in the game. You know, it's really unfortunate for Hippo there that Supreme ran out of mana, because if he'd had one more wave for him, he's probably out of that, and it's not nearly so disastrous. I like this. They're going to try running a smoke play, although this is something NiP can read.
They've got the Echo Slam. The ball splashes face. Saberlight can't initiate. They're going to move in. BKB even farther. There's the Echo Slam on it too. Pugna's gone. And so is Axe. And now the Fiend's Grip. It calls Supreme. He's full. Actually, there's going to be a Shallow Grave to protect him in the meantime. The BKB still running. The Flat Cannon doing a lot of damage. He's trying to stand and fight. But can he actually do it? He's another hero down. He's stunned up and he's dead. They'll even find Muff just hiding here under Sentry Vision. And he will be the final one to force Hippomaniacs. They get wiped by the side of NiP, or do they? Muff's still going. There we go. PPD gets the final touch.
Yeah, and it was a little bit. It was obviously fortunate for NiP that the balls hit the Axe there, right out of the smoke. But at the same time, that's a very easy smoke play to read.
They were fully prepped. They don't need a big fat Silence Eclipse. They didn't even use in that fight. So if Hippomaniacs come up full and try and contest here, you've still got a big fat armor that takes about half your HP pool. Kari needs to be careful about positioning here. They'll put down the Nether Ward to try and just deter them from fighting. They will back away. They'll respect this. The problem is you're up against a Treant, so if you didn't get the tower, it will just heal up.
Well, and the biggest thing is, as NiP, that you just know that you've gotten those 2 key kills on the Morphling to really arrest his item progression. He's got BKB and Dragonlance, but you know he's nowhere near his E-Blade, so you can just take your time and just peel back these other tier 2 towers, so that when your base push comes, it's easy 2 lanes of racks.
Oh, they found him again. Muff, what are you doing here, buddy?
Well,
you're going down the call, the Blade Mail, the Nightmare Protect from PPD. Now, chasing on a Save Light, thinks about it. Cooldown's going to be there. They clip on the Dazzle. They're going to move forward with the BKB on Gyro. Looks like BKB from Morphin trying to fight on low HP. Sax is going to be low, but Supreme even lower. Starts to morph into strength on the side they're still chasing. 33 trying to finish it off. Gets the kill with the Fissure onto the Dazzle. And they can turn around and now take this tower. Maybe even go high ground.
Yeah, also a very nice Lotus Orb here coming under net, so that they don't initiate onto him. He's got a lot of options in terms of controlling the fight with his teammates.
As a result, they might contemplate going high ground here. They're just looking for the opportunity to pick one off, but look at this. A creep wave has conveniently appeared at the top tier 2.
Oh, how convenient. Yeah, I mean, NiP, they know what they're doing. This is a good team that knows how to manipulate map equilibrium.
They're moving in, actually. Looking for more kills. Fissure comes out. Pugner taking a lot of damage. They can finish them off if they want. They think about these side slips. Instead, they use the Astral now. The Nightmare on the 33 protect from the damage. Echo Slam bluffed, but it didn't matter because they were all already dead to Fada. And that is the entrance to the base you were looking for. It doesn't matter that the Echo Slam does nothing because the Sans Eclipse did everything.
Yeah, and that's the thing. NiP can now just sit here and slow siege, knowing that if Hippo make a mistake, it might be 2 lanes of racks anyway. But certainly, if you give up another kill there's nothing you can do.
Oh, he's actually going in. Fada is feeling pretty aggressive. We'll decide against it. He doesn't know exactly where the Treant Protector is. But as I said, they can easily take these racks, maybe clean up a second lane as well. 33 finally joining in because people underestimate it, but Shaker's siege pretty well with the Enchanter.
Yeah, I really like the shot calling here from NiP in the last 5 minutes. I mean, you can argue that the situation that they're in the game, it's pretty easy, but they've played this on the conservative side to just maximize the gains of any kills that they get onto the enemy team.
And Roche is being pretty dirty right now. 10-second spawn time once it hit the clock, so it's going to come up very quickly, and NiP could clock onto this and go for it if they want to.
Yeah, and I also like thinking about effective net worth, right? When you see this Earthshaker up here at 12k gold, it feels like even more than that. Because look at the utility that he's going to get out of it. He's going to have Pipe and Lotus in these team fights. I mean, you already don't want to go on him, and now he has just so many things you can do if you go on one of his teammates.
Definitely a lot more impact you can see coming out of the Shaker with that type of net worth compared if for example, Pugner had that net worth. Because now...
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's trying to go for the own disc. It's like, that doesn't allow you to kill more people. That just makes you hope and pray you don't die yourself.
Yeah, you're desperately trying to protect yourself, and meanwhile, you know, your teammates are dying. I mean, you got to have a way now to keep this Morphling alive. Shallow Grave is not necessarily... Yeah, it's going to cut it, but as you've seen, the hero that gets graved in these last couple of fights, it's either the wrong hero, like the Treant, or NiP just have more than enough control to just...
Shaker, Echo Slam comes in, the relocate as well, the stun control. He did start to morph strength, but it won't matter. BKB will not save him. Beautiful patience from 33.
Right, that's the first big relocate play we've seen in the game. They just haven't needed it.
Oh, they've had 1 or 2 relocates. It's just not had that sort of impact where you find that high value target.
Exactly. They've used the spell, but it hasn't been like, oh, that's a Wisp signature play.
Instead, they find the most important kill, and Hippomaniacs, this is very brave and not expected. They are outside their base with a Morphling down. Does have buyback. Oh, the call, they're going to jump in, the buyback comes down, now move forward. Io, Gyro getting low. They'll find the Overgrowth, locks in place 33 as well. He has got no Echo Slam as he already used it. They'll get 1, they'll get 2. They'll keep on chasing because 33, he has no way out. He's surrounded on all sides. They'll find him as well. The Adaptive Strike pushes him across. Through him again. See you later, Mr. Shaker.
Interesting though, the Morph immediately bought back. That was clearly calculated. But did NiP the big heroes of NiP were either dead or already out at that point.
Well, it's beautifully done. You can see that movement out of the base. That was the only explanation for why you come out. But they made sure they'd had sentries everywhere to make sure that they weren't seen on the high ground.
Right. I don't know. It was well coordinated, but like you need a team wipe in that play with how far that your Morphling is already behind.
Otter? This is a greedy move. He should be fine as he's got BKB and moves fast, but they are chasing. Saberlight is going to get the Battle Hunger out. Barter's still going to keep running, though. This guy moves pretty fast at this stage in the game with having the Yasha and Kaya. And the Tranks, by the way, which I like. I like that we're seeing some kind of right-click focused cores doing this with a new way it works.
I'm down with that. I still don't. I mean, Treads was too good.
Well, it's like you have to think about what you really get. You get the int, which is great, but it's like, you know, this isn't old Preds. Now you have to go phase boots for that attack speed.
Yeah. Although we were still seeing Treads as a dominant item build, and they even got buffed a little bit in D.
That is very much
12 to 14.
I just think this hero has a regen issue in terms of health more than anything, right? Like it's
fair enough.
Like what do you build? You could build maybe into a hood, but if you plan on getting the BKB, that's doubling down in the same kind of category for 2 item slots. For similar effects, right? Just to stop magic damage. Definitely an interesting change on the lesser Tranks, the way they've done that. Be interested to see what sort of heroes do pick it up in the future. And Roche's art is...
I hadn't necessarily thought of that as being something that's core viable, but you know, the IO ordinarily is your source of sustain and is sort of tied to the gyro in this game. As the smoke play from NiP comes out, they might get the wraparound here, and it's particularly devastating. They get
the dunk crown is supreme. They get rid of him. The call's going to be there, but it's not good enough. The Nightmare protects on the OD. He's going to be healed up by the mech, and now Saberlight, he's out of HP as well. The Spirit Vessel goes out onto Fado in the meantime, but he doesn't care too much. He's going to see Curry. The Fiend Script comes out as the home missile gives vision. The overgrowth is big, but there's no one to capitalize on it. And Muff, he just has to run.
Yeah, that's... When Dire has a lead, this right side, just to the right of the mid lane, is one of the more dangerous areas of the map for Radiant because you can get initiated on from high ground in both directions.
A little bit of miscommunication. I think Fada was thinking about going for the Roche there, but they say no. No, just go straight away. Test them, see if they have buybacks. They know Morphling doesn't have one. They will slow down this a little bit with the limit armor, but not enough. It should still be a tower full in this rate. Or is it? They actually... No, they've been repelled. Trin does a little bit too much here. He did actually take the extra living armor block instances at level 10.
Yeah, but it's just... This is the slow burn by NiP here. I mean, there's no... They're just not playing with any urgency here because they don't have to. As long as they're getting the kills on the Morphling, there's just no way for Hippo to come back in this game.
It is a 1% chance that Hippomaniacs win this game right now. Not sure if I like those odds. Cool. No. They get him with the Astral. He'll be stunned up. He can't do anything now. He gets the Blade Mail out in time at least. They'll force him away on the side. The Dagon comes out. PPD goes down. The buyback is instantly there. Now moving in the pit. Ace. He still gets the Aegis. He's going to fight up against this. The overgrowth being used but muffed down. Saberlight protected by the shallow grave. But now the rest of his team leaving him behind. They might let him escape. A wall there. They're going to move through. Fish is going to be there. Axe is going to fall. The stun does connect on the Curry. They might pursue. Echo Slam connects onto the Morphling. The Silence Eclipse follow up. Curry almost dead already. They're going to keep on chasing. They give no damns about this Neverward. And Nightmare on the spot with the Fiend's Grip because he has an Enfeeble on him. Supreme submits and GG's out as he knows it's over.
I was just going to say that was clearly a last-ditch attempt. Valiantly fought by Hippos, but NiP just too much in this series. And I love the way that they played both games is just so indicative of their understanding of the meta right now. I mean, they know that in game 1, they have every reason to just close the game out immediately. In game 2, they know that as long as they continue to kill the Supreme Morphling, that there's no urgency for them. Hippo are completely choked off, and they're forced to roll the dice with that Roche engagement.
Well, that does mean that Hippo 1 down. Well, 2 down. You know, their points are 0. They're 0 right now, but they're not the only ones. Of course, that is a similar scenario for Vega, who did lose to NiP. NiP beating everyone right now. Where it gets interesting is next up, we will be having Vega versus Hippomaniacs.
Yeah, and you expect Vega to come back strong in that series. Although Hippo probably are not as bad as they've looked in these two games against NiP. I mean, like I said, in the first game in particular, like they're running the right plays. They're just a little bit too far behind. You know, this game there were a couple of unforced errors, sure, but NiP is going to make a lot of teams look really bad in this particular qualifier because I think they're just pissed. And I think this next series, it's going to be a good gut check for Vega because I know they're discouraged about their performance in the major qualifiers, where they sort of looked like they were almost there, had the chance to get in and do some damage in those playoffs, and just didn't. And they had the drama that they had in the invite to this particular minor qualifiers, where it looked like they were going to have to go through opens. Mentally, you wonder if Vega is going to be in top form for this next series, and they really need to be.
They will need to be indeed. Meanwhile, on the other side of the bracket so far, OG have 2-0'd Helsinki Reds. That was a 1-1 score with the final tribes. So OG definitely looking pretty good. They're already through. NiP already through as well. Now it's to decide if it's going to be Vega or Hippomaniacs to continue. But we're going to go short break, and then it shouldn't be too long before we are back with Vega versus Hippomaniacs. And then, you know, if you're looking for the bigger teams, we will also today be doing some of the playoff games and best of threes later on. So stay tuned. Plenty of action to come. You don't want to miss it.